Hello. Welcome back, amazing business owners, business people, business women, businessmen. Basically, all of the creative, amazing people in the world that want to actually grow a business doing what they love. Today's episode is a special bonus mini episode. Just me chatting. We're going to talk about the shop launching, which is super excited. But even more importantly, we're going to talk about these things. And if you're listening on audio and you're like, what the hell is she talking about? We are going to talk about my gift vouchers, the card that I use, the gift cards that I use, and how I use them. Because you guys, this is one of my top tools in marketing. It is crazy effective, and we're going to dive into exactly how to use these, the things that you need to consider, the things that you may want to be sensitive about, the design that you use, where you get these tools, basically all the things. So I'm so glad you're here today. Thanks so much for press and play. Maybe you're sitting in the bathtub taking your dogs for a walk, or sitting in a closet ignoring your children for a little bit, which I have zero judgment because I've been there too. So welcome back today. I'm so glad to have you. And let's chat about gift vouchers. Hey there, awesome people. I am Brooke Summer, and you are listening to Business Straight Up, the podcast for creative entrepreneurs to learn, connect, grow, and build the business and life that they dream of. Welcome. Let's get going and dive right in. Hello, amazing business owners. Welcome back to another episode of Business Straight Up, the podcast for photographers and creatives and artists and basically anyone that loves to create and wants to grow their business doing what they love. So if anyone is unfamiliar with me, I am Brooke Summer. I am a boudoir photographer. I run a boudoir studio. I have run a multiple six-figure studio for several years now. And I work with creatives so that they can implement the business skills that they need and gain clarity in their marketing so that the cliche of the starving artist can suck it. I find that as I do more video podcast episodes, I am a little more myself. I'm not really sure why. Maybe it's because I feel so awkward on video anyway that my filter just doesn't happen. So I'm going to ask for your grace in these video episodes because chances are I'm probably going to take a drink of my coffee and forget you're here. But you know what? We're going to do it anyway because done is better than perfect. And I am working so hard to embrace that for myself. So today we are going to talk about the gift voucher. I have a whole bunch of them to show you. And for anyone that's listening on the podcast, I am going to describe them for you as well, because I want you to kind of get a picture in your head of what all of this is about. Why do we use these vouchers? What does this card look like? All that fun stuff. So if you are a part of Sue Bryce education, or if you've been a part of any of her courses, her classes in the past on Creative Live or on her own, you'll know what the gift vouchers are. Sue Bryce actually uses them to hand out when she's out and about. She gives them to people that she's interacting with, and she has a template in her files on Sue Bryce Education if you're a part of that membership. Now, if you're not, why not? I'm an educator and I still pay to be a part of this every year because her information is so freaking amazing. And sometimes we all need that little kick in the butt, right? Plus, she has amazing suggestions, and sometimes a girl just wants to know how to do some nice eye makeup, right? She even has makeup stuff on there. I use her eye makeup chart in my studio, which is amazing, worth the cost of the membership by itself. It helps my clients understand, how dark do we want to go with the eye makeup? She has so many amazing tools there. So if you're not a part of her education platform, I highly recommend it. But if you are, and you've heard her talk about gift vouchers, she uses them in a very specific way to kind of hand out when she's out and about, eating out, stuff like that. And I have done this as well. While that has worked a few times, it didn't really work as well for me as it does for Sue. And when I heard Sue talk about this a long time ago, I was all in. Yes, this is amazing. But I have actually tweaked it a little bit because I have found more value in partnering with businesses to get them to people who will love them the most. So first things first, I want to give you a little tough love when it comes to marketing ideas. I have seen so many people go into Facebook groups and their immediate first response is, that won't work for me. And I will always look at their comments, and my first question in my head is, how do you know? How do you know that won't work for you? Way too often, we will actually argue for the limitations that we perceive. And that's exactly what they are. They're perceived limitations. They're not always factual limitations. We always think, that won't work for me, or my people won't like that. It won't work in my area. And in some cases, those things might be true, especially if you know your ideal client inside and out. And if you don't know your ideal client, I want you to add episode 001 of this podcast to your listening playlist, because it is absolutely foundational when it comes to marketing and business decisions. So when you see an idea or a suggestion, instead of arguing for why it won't work, start considering things from a place of possibility. Start considering these things as an experiment. Let's look at these things and think of ourselves like a scientist. Now, I am not a science-minded person at all, but I prefer to look at things and say, how can I make this work for me? Instead of immediately saying, oh, hell no, that's not going to work in my area. Does everything work for everyone? No. But usually, if someone that you look up to or choose to learn from is in a place that you want to be in when it comes to their business and their marketing and their revenue, the ideas that they're sharing are going to be worth listening to. Listen through the ideas. Look at all the angles. Start asking yourself, how can I make this work for me? What can I change to better fit my ideal client if I don't think it's a good fit based on what I know? How can I tweak it? What would they love to see? What would they feel honored to get as a gift? So the cards that I'm going to show you today are exactly that. They are my tweak on what Sue Bryce already taught. She is an amazing, amazing educator. However, not everything works for everyone, right? And I found more success in partnering with businesses and using these cards in that way. Now, you may want to do things differently. You may want to give them directly to people. You may want to use them as prizes. It doesn't matter. You want to tweak it to fit your specific business. The cards that I'm going to show you today, along with the gift cards and all the accompaniments and all the pretty stuff that goes inside of them, they're all boudoir specific, but I have worked with students that have implemented this in so many other ways. Family photographers, birth photographers, newborn photographers, and even wedding photographers. Think of something that you can offer to someone that would be an ideal client that will get them in the door. As Sue always says, butts in seats. Stop arguing for your perceived limitations and start to think bigger. So, today, if you're watching in video, I am going to actually show you, for anyone watching, and walk you through, for anyone listening, the gift vouchers that I have custom created and I use in partnering with local businesses. You'll notice that the card is the same for whether I would personally hand it to someone or whether it's from another business, because I want them to be as versatile and easy to use as possible. This is how I do most of my marketing pieces. I don't want to have one marketing piece that's so specific that I can't use it in other areas as well. I want them to be super versatile and go further so that I can further my ROI, or return on investment. So before I go too much further, I do want to let you know that this is one of my top 10 marketing strategies that I have used to grow my boudoir business into a multiple six-figure business while working with clients only 2 days a week. Marketing is an art, and you can be the best at what you do and have the most amazing skills. But if you can't market yourself, you won't be doing it for long. Marketing and sales are absolutely essential when it comes to building your business. Building your skills in these areas will serve you so much. If you are a boudoir photographer or you want to be a boudoir photographer, I recently taught a boudoir marketing masterclass at WPPI in early 2020 that was a hit, rave reviews. Someone even said it was the best class that she went to at WPPI overall, which is high praise, and the coordinators at WPPI actually sent me that information. I'm so honored to have been a part of it. Several students have asked me to bring the masterclass online, so I am thrilled to announce that it is official and will be recorded live on October 15th, 2020. A few questions that have come out since I announced this. Will there be a recording if I can't make it? Short answer, yes. Although, to entice you to attend live, I have a little trick up my sleeve. Anyone that attends live will get a special $50 gift card because I want to work with you directly so that I can answer your questions as they come up. So I really, 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 really want you to be there live. Do you have to be? No. There will be a recording if you can't attend, and it will be available online. Another question that's come up, is it free? Nope, it's not. Although it will be minimal investment. It's only $97. And with the $50 gift card, if you attend live, that's less than $50. You cannot get a marketing course for less than $50. So it's a steal. Why is there a charge? Well, to be frank, when people pay, they pay attention. People are almost always more apt to pay attention and actually implement the strategies that they learn when they have skin in the game, so to speak. So when there's an investment. Right now, it will be $97 with a $50 gift card if you attend live. Again, that class is October 15th, 2020, and it will be recorded so you have access to it later. You can even watch it months from now when a question comes up and you need a refresher, or if you want to implement one of the strategies a little later, especially when this pandemic is gone and things like bridal shows are back up and running again. So if you are a boudoir photographer or want to be, go to businessstraightup.com/BMM. Boudoir Marketing Masterclass. businessstraightup.com/BMM. B like boy, M like Mary, M like Mary. To get in on the Boudoir Marketing Masterclass now. There is a limited number of spots available. If you attend live, you'll get that $50 gift card for any templates or workflows, or basically anything in the shop. So mark your calendars now. I am crazy excited for this class. I know it will give you immense value and it will help you so much. It did for the people at WPPI. Now you get to do it online in your PJs with a cocktail, however you roll. I feel you. I like cocktails and PJs too. So let's talk about gift vouchers. What the heck does this look like? We have talked about how even though mine are boudoir specific, they do not have to be for boudoir only. If you have questions on how to customize them to fit your own needs, you can always ask in the Facebook group, which can be accessed at businessstraightup.com/community. So I'm going to show you what these cards look like. And just so you know, I have torn out the middle, but I'll show you I'll hold it up for you. So for anyone listening on the podcast that can't actually see it, it's a trifold card. It's a vertical trifold card that opens up, and it has my branding on it. It has a ton of text inside, and on the back, there's an image. In the middle goes a gift card, so it can go in here. Now, so many people have told me, well, I don't have gift cards. You guys, seriously, start to go beyond what you ever thought possible, because this is a business card that I use when I catch people that look amazing outside and I'm shopping or at brunch or whatever. I use these cot cards that I call them, and it's just a business card. That's all it is. It's printed on both sides and it's just a business card. And you can even put those in the middle. Okay. The way that I attach them is with either rubber cement. You guys remember that from the 80s? Probably not. You're probably too young. I'm old. But you can either attach them with rubber cement because it peels off very easily, or you can use glue dots. Now, anything that I am mentioning in this episode that you need to create these, we will give links for in the podcast show notes. So this will be episode 46. It's a little bonus episode. If you head over to businessstraightup.com/046, you will see the show notes with all of the links where you can buy all of these things. And straightforward Amazon is my bestie because it's fast, because it's easy, and because the only other place to get glue dots around here is Michael's. And that's if they're in stock. So I will give you all of the Amazon links to buy any of these things that I'm showing you today. So, the magical card. The card is a trifold. It's 4 inches wide by 5.5 inches tall. I get mine printed at Pro DPI. Personally, I do the pearl paper because I like sparkles, and I'm going to come in closer so you can see the pearl, like the sheen on the paper. Okay, I love sparkles, but you can choose whatever paper type you want. The pearl is more expensive. Through Pro DPI, the cost per card is just over $1 per card with regular paper. Pearl paper comes out to about $2 a card. So the pearl is more expensive. And it might seem like an investment for something like this, especially when you consider the inside cards as well that go in here. But when you consider the ROI, or the return on investment, when it comes to just one of these cards, depending on your pricing, it's well worth the cost several times over. My average client investment is anywhere from $3,200 to $4,000. So if I'm going to spend $2, even $5 on one of these cards, it is well worth it. Believe me. Even if your average client investment is $500, it would still be worth it. That's still a huge ROI for one of these cards. So we are going to go through all of the card details. I already showed you a little bit, but let's chat about the internal card for a second, okay? Because there are tons of options. This is one of my options that I've used. I've also used this, which is just a card from, I think, H&H, something like that. I will say they did not do a very good job printing them. That's why I don't do them anymore, because they were not very easy to work with. These are from, I think, Rock Design. I will promise you I will link everything in the show notes. These are printed through Miller's or Pro DPI. It's literally just a business card, and that can work just as well in here. So the internal cards, for just a second. My internal cards that I typically use are the frosted ones, and you'll see they have a front and back, and they are more expensive. They are more of an investment up front. They are actual gift cards. They just don't have the swipey, the magnetic strip on the back. If I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't do these again just because it's not necessary. But they are beautiful, and there are so many different beautiful options. I would always go higher end though. What looks beautiful? You could just do a business card. You could even just do wallet prints, like from, I know Miller's does them, Pro DPI does wallet prints, and you can use glue dots or rubber cement to attach them. Just make sure that whatever changes, whatever customizations that you decide to make to this card are on brand. You want your brand to stay consistent across the board. You don't want to have some janky looking cards when you're charging several $1,000s. Make sure all of this is on brand so that when someone gets this, they feel like they are actually getting a gift. So to seal the cards, it's just, they come with the envelope from Pro DPI. And you guys, Miller's actually prints these cards as well. I've reached out to Pro DPI to see if I can get you guys a special to get these printed. They have not responded, so I'll reach out to Miller's as well and see if we can get you guys a special, because having these cards that are so on brand and gorgeous will make a huge difference when it comes to your marketing. To seal the cards, I've done stickers, I've done wax seals, and my favorite is the embossed flap. So I'm going to bring this really close up. And for anyone listening on the podcast, I actually have an embosser. Again, I'll put a link for this on the show notes, but I have an embosser that says strong and beautiful. Yes, you know it and live it daily. So again, this will determine, or this will depend on your brand, on the type of service that you offer, but I work specifically with women. That's what I want them to know. So I'm going to zoom in with the camera so that you can see it. So that is my favorite, the embossed flap. Now, when you have the embosser, you can actually just get these stickers, and do the same thing on the stickers. So it's the same exact message, and it's nice because even if you don't have an envelope, like maybe you just hand the cards as they are, you can even just put a sticker here too that has the embossing. So it just depends on how you want to do them. Typically they come with the envelopes though, so may as well use them because they're pretty. The cards themselves are not super complicated. The design is very word heavy. There's not a ton of like swirls or pretty things or anything like that, because I want the focus to be in the middle on that gift card. I want it to be felt as a gift. You know how when someone hands you a gift card, if it's in a card, that's cool and you're like, yay, card. But when you see the gift card, you're like, heck yeah, hooray for gift cards. So I want the focus to really be on the gift, because I use this card to partner with other businesses, and I offer them the opportunity to give these cards to their best clients. So I've shown you the card. We've talked about what it looks like. I've talked about all the different ways that you can customize them. I will get all of the links onto the show notes. But I want to talk about how I actually use these cards, because so many people just think of like handing them to someone when you're out, or handing them to a partner or something like that. And I want to talk about actually partnering with businesses. So what exactly does this look like? Real estate agents, estheticians, lingerie shops, stylists, makeup artists, wedding photographers, or a photographer that does not offer the same service that you offer, higher end clothing boutiques, interior designers. All of these businesses are just like you in figuring out how they can grow their business every day. If you have a high-end brand, you want to think of other businesses that you can partner with that will have a similar ideal client, but don't offer the same product, okay? Because we don't want to go to another boudoir photographer and be like, hey, do you want to offer your clients my boudoir services? Of course not. That doesn't make sense. So you want to find someone that has a very similar ideal client without offering the same exact product. This could also be a newborn photographer or another type of portrait photographer. Although make sure, and I tell you this from experience, make sure that if you are reaching out to a type of photographer that also does portraits, and you do some type of portraits, whether it's boudoir, newborn, whatever, make sure that you really trust these people, because I've seen this go south a lot. So be careful. And be aware of chains too. So a lot of times when a business is franchised, so let's say, I don't think Victoria's Secret is franchised, but it's still a chain. Victoria's Secret or European Wax, like any of these businesses that are franchised, a lot of times they will have very specific rules on what they can and cannot do when it comes to partnerships with other businesses. So I'm not saying don't reach out to them, but consider that if it is a chain, they may not be able to partner with you like a regular, like individually owned business could. So consider that when you're thinking of things like that. Also, like real estate agents that are under an umbrella like Remax or Coldwell Banker or anything like that, they might have very specific rules on who they can partner with, the types of partnerships they can do, the types of events they can do, all of those things. A lot of times the primary company that is franchising these businesses or has these individuals under their umbrella will be very specific about the marketing things that they can do. So think about it. But I have even used these for in-home parties, which I know is like everyone's tired of these MLM people sending them cold messaging on Facebook. I'm like, hey girl, I haven't talked to you in 20 years, but now you should buy something from me. I know we are all tired of that, but I will say that if someone is going to spend a lot on skincare or a vibrator, she's probably going to treat herself pretty well, and she might appreciate one of these. I'm just saying. So don't necessarily write them off. Of course, you want to make sure that this is on brand. So if you decide to partner with someone who does that type of product or that type of service, make sure that they are not engaging in marketing activities that don't fit your brand. So for instance, there is a specific company of skincare and makeup individuals that don't do that, and I would absolutely partner with them because they are so authentic and real in their marketing, and other people are not. So be very aware of who you are aligning your brand with, because when a business hands one of their clients one of your cards, they are also putting their name on it as well, and if their name engages in some pretty shady stuff, you don't want to be attached to that. So if you decide that you really want to use this marketing strategy in your business, I want to encourage you to sit down and make a list of 5 to 10 businesses. These are going to be businesses that you can partner with. Now, just do a brain dump. This doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to number it out 5 to 10. Okay, just kind of get it out on paper, write it all down. Make sure they're a good fit. For instance, you wouldn't want to be a newborn photographer partnering with a real estate agent without some specific guidelines in place. You don't want to have your name attached to an incorrect assumption that someone is pregnant when they're not. So, think about these things. Use discretion. Another one is we never want to be insensitive to perhaps an infertility battle or an infertility struggle. And so if you are going to partner with someone, make sure that they're on the same page with that. Make sure that if you're a newborn photographer wanting to partner with a real estate agent, that you say, only do this if someone says this is the nursery because we're expecting. Like, make sure that they are entirely on board with the same level of sensitivity that you have as well. So the next question is, how do you approach these businesses that you want to partner with? Well, personally, I have found it works best to sit down in person to talk with them. However, we are seeing a big change in that because of 2020 and COVID and everything that's gone down. So that will come back, I'm sure. And if you can meet in person, like maybe you can do coffee outside where you're appropriately socially distanced, or maybe COVID is over when you're listening to this and you're like, hell yes, I'm going to meet in person. If you can, do it. But if you can't, the next best thing is going to be video chat. Talk with them about their business, what they're seeing in their own marketing, and who they serve. Always, 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 I'm going to say that one more time, always approach a business partnership with how can I serve you to help grow your business instead of the attitude of what's in it for me. Don't be a doormat, okay? If someone is taking advantage of you, absolutely set some boundaries and honor those boundaries. But when you approach any business with the attitude of how can I help you grow your business, you're going to see a much better return on investment. Networking matters, and building those business relationships is huge when it comes to really growing your business. When you have a genuine interest in someone else, there's something called the law of reciprocity. They now feel like they want to have a genuine interest in you. Now, not everyone does. Of course, there are going to be those leeches, right? And you have to cut them off. But approach every situation with the intent of helping someone else, and you would be amazed at how many relationships you can build. And then you'll start to grow each other's business, and you'll start to lift each other, because a rising tide raises all ships, right? So when I talk with another business owner about these cards specifically, I want them to really understand that they are a gift. This is not an ad. This is not a flyer. This is not, the silly little calendars that you hang on your fridge. This is not something like that. This is a gift. Much like a gift card to a restaurant, these cards for me have a $350 value. And I am completely transparent with the business owner that I am not the cheapest photographer in my area. And I don't want anyone to ever be in a situation where they feel terrible because they have interacted with me. So I want to make sure that they're only sharing these cards with the people that will value them. Translation. For the lingerie shop that I partnered with, I made sure that they knew to only give these cards to someone who spent like $200, $250 in their store. And it's not because I don't want to work with someone who didn't spend, but I want to make sure that someone feels amazing after interacting with me. I don't want someone to get this card and be super excited and then be blindsided because the products are more than they ever wanted to spend on photography. Everyone has different values when it comes to what they're willing to spend on. And I want to honor those in every way possible, even if we aren't the best fit. Not everyone will love what you do. Not everyone will value what you do, and that's okay. I want to make sure that the people that get these are excited about them. I want to make sure that they walk away from talking with me feeling amazing and excited, not deflated and like crap. When someone gets one of these cards, they will still go through the regular client workflow. So they're going to have a consultation where we discuss pricing and the session fee, and that the card covers the session, but it does not cover the products and the end result. So the wall art, the digitals, the albums, anything that they want to have is not covered by this card. I want to make sure that all of the recipients of these cards have the same high level of service and the same client journey as the rest of my clients, and that they're not treated any differently. Yes, it is a free session. This covers my session fee. However, in the end, the investment has been well beyond just the session fee, which is ideally what I want, right? Because then I can get these clients in the door and I can work with them and offer them an amazing client experience and a client journey so that then they tell their friends. So now that one client that's come in because of this, let's say $3 card, not only has spent to buy her own images because she knew the pricing up front, she knew what the card covered. There is no like bait and switch stuff going on here. She knew exactly what was happening. And as soon as she has an amazing experience, she's going to go tell her other friends, who will then tell their friends. And then my referral program will go into effect. And all of these amazing women are now like, girl, I need you to do my photos. So these cards are an in. That's all they are. They are to get, as Sue says, butts in seats. I do want to show you and talk about the actual gift card. So it is a frosted card. Sorry, the webcam doesn't focus very well. And on the back, it says, this is your ticket to look and feel amazing. Someone thinks you're pretty awesome and wanted you to have a very special gift. I leave the language open like that intentionally because if I hand it to someone, it's still someone thinking they're awesome, right? So whether it's another business or whether I hand it to someone, it's still that same gift. Then it says, this card is worth blank, and we write in the session fee, and may be used toward a session or prints before blank. And that's where we put an expiration date. Now, quite frankly, if someone's going to come to me after the expiration date, I'm never a hard ass on those, unless I can tell right up front that someone is not very kind. Like if they're emailing me at 6 a.m. and they get pissed that I haven't responded in an hour, I'm probably going to say, sorry, that's expired, because that is a sign to me. That's a red flag to me that they're probably not my ideal client anyway. My clients are very laid back and understanding, and they know that I will work my ass off for them when they are kind and understanding. So we all kind of have that overall view on life, right? It says, please contact me to book your session. I look forward to working with you. It has my email address, my phone number, and my signature on the back. It's just my first name signature because I have that all over my marketing. I want people to know me and that they're hiring me and not an assembly line somewhere. So to recap, these cards can be used to personally hand out when you're out and about. If you'd like to photograph someone, you can keep them in your purse, you can keep them on your person, whatever you carry with you, or they can be used as a partnership with a business, which is what I prefer. Make sure you're really, really, really clear with the business owner on your pricing and who they should go to, because you don't want someone to get the card and just toss it in the trash, because then it's a waste for everyone involved. And especially when it comes to people like real estate agents, they are not just working with someone super quickly. Like, they get to know their clients a little bit. And if someone is maybe super conservative and you're like, they would never do boudoir photos, then my real estate partners will know, just don't. It's just not a good fit for everyone. And I would rather have quality over quantity. So I have a super, super special offer for you today. I created these trifold cards from scratch a long time ago, like before I was in my studio. So I'm going to say 2011-ish. And like I said, it's a super simple design. You could just pause the video and read the exact design and wording. I'm not going to like track anyone down for that. I would prefer you not, copying is never cool. But if you want my exact design and wording, I have a crazy special offer for you. My shop, with all of my templates, my workflows, reviews, and more, officially goes live this week on September 30th. This design template will be in the shop for only $15. And if you go to the shop at shopwithbrooke.com and get this template, I have a super special secret surprise for anyone that is listening to this episode or watching the video. If you use the code GIFTCARD, all one word, squished together, 8 letters, you will actually get $10 off of this template. So it's only $5. That is a crazy steal. And that will include a customizable Photoshop template so that you can add in your own photo, your logo, and your contact details and have everything already done for you. You can just upload it, order it from ProDPI, Miller's, wherever you want to order it from. And it's all done for you. Someone told me that I should charge more because it makes her wonder what's wrong with it when the price is so low. And I feel the same way. Anytime I see like a class, I'm like, wait a second, why is that price so low? But I do want you to know the price will go up. This price is only for the launch this week. The shop is brand new and it is being officially launched this week. Yay! And it's pretty darn low, this price. So don't wait to get it. The code for $10 off of this template is only good through October 10th. So that code again is gift card. It will be in the show notes at businessstraightup.com/podcast. And it's only good through October 10th. Don't wait to get the template for this card because you get $10 off and then it's only $5. So any of the products or accessories that I've shown, the embosser, the glue dots, anything that we've talked about today will be listed in the show notes with links to purchase, things like the glue dots, custom embosser, Pro DPI, the envelopes, all that good stuff. There are those little small touches that look amazing and just feel amazing. When someone hands you a card, you can kind of feel if it's like the dollar store cards, not that there's anything wrong with those, but you can definitely feel the difference when it's like solid and it's made really well. So I have reached out to Pro DPI, but they haven't gotten back to me. If they respond and get me a promo code, then I will make sure to put it in the show notes at businessstraightup.com/046. This is episode 46. And I'm also going to talk to Miller's because I'm pretty sure Miller's does these cards as well, and they tend to be more responsive. Plus, their turnaround time is insane. Ever since Pro DPI switched owners, it's been a little different. So don't forget your code to get $10 off of the template for this design in the shop at shopwithbrooke.com. And even more important than any template is the knowledge on how to actually build and implement these things. So if you're a boudoir photographer or you want to be a boudoir photographer, make sure to head on over to businessstraightup.com/BMM. That's B like boy, M like Mary, or Boudoir Marketing Masterclass to grab your spot in my Boudoir Marketing Masterclass on October 15th. That was a raving hit at WPPI 2020. And don't forget, if you attend live, you get a $50 gift card to the shop, which makes that class a killer deal. You know, killer. Like before Halloween, right? What are dad jokes called if they're mom jokes? Just odd jokes, mom jokes, mommy jokes. I don't know. Check out the links we talked about to get all of the details. Show notes at businessstraightup.com/046. And as always, if you loved this episode, can you please head on over to iTunes and leave a review? These reviews, especially on iTunes, mean so much for us because it gives us details on what you want to learn, what you need, and how we can better serve you in the future. Plus, if you take a screenshot of the review before you hit submit and email it over to hello@businessstraightup.com, we have a special gift for you. And if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and say hey in the comments. Have an amazing rest of your day. Thank you so much for listening to Business Straight Up. I'm so glad that you could join us today. Check out the show notes for this and all of the episodes at businessstraightuppodcast.com. And I can't wait to talk with you again. Have a great day.